morning. Good morning, everyone. Testing. Testing. We'll be getting started in about a minute. Make sure we keep our phones in our pocket. Make sure that we have our undivided attention. We'll get started in 1 minute.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. So, again, good morning, Edcouch-Elsa High School students and staff. Welcome to this year's Shattered Dreams presentation. My name is Mrs. Cerda, and I am the Human Services and Teens in the Driver's Seat Advisor. Teens in the Driver's Seat is an educational program that teaches students the importance of safe driving, behaviors like always wearing a seatbelt. As an advisor, I have made it my goal for the past 10 years to bring the awareness of safe driving to our campus. With that being said, I would like to introduce to you our Human Services team to share some statistics on safe driving. Kayla Trejo, President. Jocelyn Moreno, Vice President. Destiny Rodriguez, Community Outreach. Daniela Hinojosa, Secretary. Marely Arellano, Treasurer. Jackie Sepulveda, Historian. Kendall Gandaria, Team Leader. Cleo Zamora, Team Leader. Godiva Garcia, Team Leader.
29% of drivers ages 15 to 20 who were killed in motor vehicle crashes have been drinking.
35% of male drivers and 18% of female drivers ages 15 to 20 years who were involved in fatal crashes were speeding at the time of the crash in 2020.
Among teen drivers and passengers 16 to 19 years of age were killed in car crashes in 2020. 56% were not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash.
In 2021, 19% of fatal crashes amongst drivers aged 16 to 17 involved alcohol use.
In 2019, among U.S. high school students who drove, 39% texted or emailed while driving at least once during the prior 30 days.
The fatal crash rate at night among teen drivers ages 16 through 19 is about 3 times as high as adult drivers ages 30 through 59 years per mile driven.
And now, please help me welcome our high school principal, Mr. Valdez, as he introduces our keynote speaker.
All right, good morning, everyone. Here at Edcouch-Elsa, we show our jacket pride by being attentive, opening our ears and our hearts to our presenters. So please, I do ask you to put your phones away and again, open your hearts and ears to our presenter. And let me just say a few words about our presenter. For over a decade, Tyson has been sharing stages across the nation how unthinkable tragedy can be inflicted by a distracted driver could not hold him back from living life on his own terms. Months after his 22nd birthday, Tyson was waiting to turn left onto a residential road when a fully loaded cement mixer driven by a distracted driver changed his life forever. The wreck would leave him paralyzed from the waist down, but has yet to hold him back. After shocking his medical team with his progress, he was back at school within months, finishing his degree at Texas State University. From there, he went on to become a full-time varsity coach and teacher in fulfillment of his long life dream. Today, Tyson lives independently, drives, fishes from his own bass boat, hunts using a rugged track share, and shares his message with audiences across the nation. The lessons he learned along the way about attitude, determination, and grit combine to create an engaging and funny presentation that will show you how to overcome adversity, better equip yourself to close in on your dreams, and never, ever give up. And now, please help me give a great Edcouch-Elsa Yellow Jacket welcome to Mr. Tyson Deaver.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Baby. Check, check, check. There we go. Check, check. Check, check, check. There we go. All right. Thank you for that. Y'all excited to be here this morning? Yeah, you're a bunch of liars too, right? You're only excited that you don't have to be in class right now, right? Let's be real. Let's be honest. Well, my name's Tyson Deaver. I'm excited to be here this morning. Before I get up and going, let me just give you a little background about who I am, where I come from, what I do, and all those things. So, I grew up in far west Texas, out by Midland, Odessa. Graduated high school there in 2001. Went on to play college baseball for a couple of years. I played at Lubbock Christian University, also played at Howard Junior College in Big Spring. Was headed to play at Texas State University in San Marcos. Had a shoulder injury that forced me to give it up before I got there. Ended up going to school down there. Graduated in 2007. Was a teacher and a coach for 2 years, and then in 2009 had the opportunity to start speaking full time. Had no idea what this was going to look like, but I just jumped out there and went for it. And here I am, some 15 years later, traveling the country, talking to groups just like this, all the way up to Fortune 500 companies. And so, feel blessed to do what I do. You guys are going to have a lot of fun today. I'm fully aware of the fact that you're looking at a guy in a wheelchair on stage, okay? I just need you to know up front, it is okay to laugh with me, okay? It is. The more that you do, the more I'm going to crack jokes on myself, maybe on you, right? Who knows what's going to happen? I just need you to know it is okay to laugh with me, okay? This presentation is a lot funner. It's a lot better if we're laughing and having fun. So, anyways, before we get going, I've been fortunate enough to be traveling the country for 15 years, like I said, and there's one question I ask everywhere I go, and it really doesn't matter what state I'm in or who my audience is. I ask this question right here, and the answer is always exactly the same. So I'm going to ask you this morning. So first thing you noticed when you come in today and you saw me? Did somebody up there say you're bald? Really? That's the first thing? That's the first thing? Jeez. Somebody over here said it. Wheelchair, guys. It is okay to say the word wheelchair. It is, I promise, okay? But here's the deal. This chair you see right here doesn't define me. Doesn't make decisions for me, doesn't eat for me, doesn't get me dressed. It does nothing. Gets me from point A to point B, which is what your legs do for you. My motto, you walk and I roll. That's the only difference, right? There's one thing that all of you are wondering right now, and that's simply what? What happened? I'm going to show you a video that's going to tell you exactly what happened to me. I do need to preface this and say it is intense. You're going to hear a 911 call. You're going to see pictures. You're going to hear a lady in the background say it's definitely a fatality. And if you listen closely enough, you're actually going to hear me in the background fighting for my life. Okay? It's intense, but please know life is good. I'm here today with a smile on my face. I'm going to show you this video so you better know what happened.
Hit from the back. Okay, hold on. Huge truck. There's definitely been a fatality. Definitely. There's a car on fire. Looks like there's someone stuck in there. Okay. Have you reported an accident on 1626 at Elm Grove? I'm sorry. Are you reporting an accident? Yes, I was just in it. Okay, hold on just a second. Help me. I can't. All right, he's on fire. All right. Okay, sir. Sir?
Well, he's paying the price because he's paralyzed. And people living here in Hays County say it was an accident just waiting to happen.
I just remember looking up and seeing fire on the dash of the car and saying, I've got to get out of here.
The next thing 22-year-old Tyson Deaver remembers is waking up paralyzed from the waist down.
My day starts just like anybody else's does. I wake up, I put my socks on, I put my shoes on, I get into my wheelchair. You walk and I roll, and that's really the only difference. I'm doing everything I'd be doing today if I was still walking. I just do it a little bit differently.
I come up to the lake quite a bit, quite often to see Tyson and visit and just hang out. March 11th, 2005 will always be a very special day to us, a day that I will never ever forget. Within the snap of a finger or within a phone call, our lives changed forever.
You know, I remember the sound, and I remember the smell and the fire, and I remember being trapped inside this burning car thinking, man, I've got to get out of here. My back was against the wall. The only place to go was up for me. There was no quit. There was no give up. That's not in my vocabulary. That's not who I am. That's not how I was raised. You know, change is going to happen. Whether we like it or not, it's inevitable. You know, I'm a strong believer in who you are as a person before adversity determines how you respond to it.
I'll never forget him trying to learn how to get from the wheelchair into a vehicle. He was getting so frustrated, but he was not going to quit. That's how he did all through rehab. He just pushed himself just in record times.
It's a daily battle. You know, just like everybody, you have your good days and bad. You know, you're going to have those days where it truly does take everything in you just to get out of bed, put yourself in a wheelchair and go do life that day. But quitting is not an option. I didn't want a wheelchair to stop me from reaching my dream of being a coach, which is what I want to do since I was this tall, and so I just went for it. But when I was teaching and coaching, I had students in my classroom that maybe they had a terrible home life, or maybe they had things going on in their life, and they were just shutting down, they were stopping. The big thing to me was, look, it doesn't have to be like that. That doesn't have to define you. And it just motivated me to want to push them to be better, to be the best that they can be. You know, no matter what's happened in the past. I can't change what happened to me, nor did I have a choice in what happened to me, but I did have a choice in how I responded to it. When I'm on stage, I'm in the element. This is my story. I want somebody to hear it that needs it. If my situation is going to help one person change their life, If my story can give them that little bit of hope, then it's all worth it to me.
Thank you. Are you who you want to be? Love the way that video ends, couldn't end any better. And I want you to ask yourself that question this morning. Are you who you want to be? And allow me to take this a step further. Are you where you want to be? Because guys, if the answer is no, to either one of those questions, the only one that can change that is you. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Tyson, we saw the pictures, we saw the video, we heard the 911 call. But what happened, right? What line of events had to happen in order for your wreck to take place? So let me give you another version so you'll better understand. It was March 11th of 2005. It was the day we got out for spring break. I'm going to school at Texas State University in San Marcos, go Bobcats. And where do all college kids go for spring break? The beach, right? That's where we're going to go. I'm going to pick up my girlfriend at the time, and we're going to go to the beach for spring break. Now, I come from a small West Texas town, so needless to say, when I moved to San Marcos in 03 to go to school, I tried to avoid I-35, and then once you get into Austin, you've got 183 and Mopac and all these crazy busy highways and interstates. It's just way too much for me. I wasn't used to that kind of traffic, so I always took the back roads as often as I could. It's exactly what I did that day. I just got through taking a first aid and safety midterm, ironically enough, and I'm on a 2-lane road in the right-hand lane waiting on oncoming traffic so that I can make a left-hand turn into my girlfriend's neighborhood. Now, behind me is a single cab pickup truck. And what do most cars do when they get tired of waiting? They pass you, right? It's exactly what this truck did. I remember him going around on the shoulder of the road and getting back in front of me. But it's what came right behind him that caused everything. You see a fully loaded concrete truck traveling close to 70 miles an hour. Whether he didn't see me, his brakes failed, he's texting and driving, he's eating a cheeseburger, or maybe he's just not paying attention. I don't know. I never will know because he had the opportunity to tell me and he couldn't, but he hit my car from behind. How many of you know who Bigfoot is, the big monster truck? Yeah? Okay, if I had a reenactment of that day, I think this is what it would look like. Is my car sit there in the right-hand lane, concrete truck or Bigfoot, come from behind, he hit my car, and when he did, he went completely over the top of it. Now, he knocked me into oncoming traffic, where I was hit again by Nissan Xterra coming the other way. So I actually got hit twice. Now, I'm still 100% conscious. I remember everything. I remember the sound, the smell, the fire, and the heat. And I remember being trapped inside this burning car thinking, Tyson, buddy, this might be the end of the road. I mean, I'm trapped inside of a burning car. I was doing everything I can to get out, not going anywhere. Well, luckily for me, one of the guys on the single cab truck that had went around me, his name is Ryan Turner. Ryan saw the wreck happen in his rearview mirror, so he jumps out. He comes running up to my car. Then Ryan's probably 5'7", maybe 140 pounds soaking wet. Okay, not a very big guy. I'm 6'1", weighed about 210 at the time. There's just no physical way for Ryan to get me up out of this car by himself. It's just not possible. So luckily for me, 2 more guys passing by that day happen to work for ESPN Radio. Daryl O'Neill, Philip Breedlove, they see the wreck happen and they come running up to my car. Now Daryl reached in and he grabbed me by my belt. While Philip took the door panel of my car that's laying on the ground, he picked it up. He jumped into my burning car, used that door panel to shield the flames, untangle my feet from what's left of the pedals, while Ryan and Daryl pulled me out. Pretty remarkable, right? I mean, if those guys do not risk their life on that day to save me, guys, there's a great chance I'm not here this morning to tell my story, because as soon as they pulled me out, my car literally exploded into flames. You've all seen the movie Fast and the Furious, right? I mean, they've only made like 30 of these. Surely you've seen one. What happens when they wreck a car? Explodes. It blows up. It's exactly what my car did. Well, that day across the street was an elementary school, Elm Grove Elementary, and they happened to be having fire day that day. So outside across the street, outside on break, is a fire truck and an ambulance. They see and hear the wreck happen, and they immediately called Starflight because they knew that it was bad. Now, if you know anything about the Austin, Texas area, in fact, how many of you know where Cabela's is in South Austin, right off of I-35? Okay, several of you. So my wreck happened about 5 miles behind there. So if you're going to drive from the spot my wreck happened to downtown Austin where Bracken Ridge Hospital is, it's probably going to take you about an hour or so with no traffic. Get this, from the second my wreck happened, they called Starflight. They left Bracken Ridge, got to the scene, loaded me up, and took me back for surgery. But from the second my wreck happened until I landed at the hospital was 14 minutes. 14 minutes, and it's this line of events that had to happen in order for me to survive. And the only way I can explain it to you this morning is it just wasn't my time to go. My work on earth is not done. I get to the hospital, I had 5 surgeries the first day. I had a punctured lung, I had a torn diaphragm, had some broken ribs. My spinal cord at T12, right at your belly button, was completely severed. So it's left me paralyzed at the waist with a 1% chance of ever walking again, according to doctors, which is basically saying, Tyson, you're not going to walk. For some wild, crazy reason you do, well, you know we did give you that 1%, right? So what that means? Probably not going to happen. I spent 3 weeks in the hospital. There, as soon as I was released, I went to rehab in Houston at a place called Tier. Amazing, phenomenal, incredible place. It truly was. I spent 3 weeks there, went home for a month, so I got my back brace and all my hardware off, went back for another stint of rehab. Was there for another 3 weeks, and probably my proudest accomplishment of this whole ordeal being placed into a wheelchair is my rec happened on March 11th, and in August I was back in college finishing my degree. So I only missed half a semester of school. You see, March 11th of 2005, that's the day that everything changed for me. Everything. Look, I wasn't any different than any of you sitting out there right now. I played football and baseball in high school. I played college baseball. I'm going to school to be a teacher and a coach, which is literally what I want to do since I was a little kid. But in a matter of, boom, literally the amount of time it just took me to snap my fingers. Guys, my life was changed forever over something that wasn't even my fault. I can't go back to that day and change what happened to me. But from that day going forward, that's me, right? That's my responsibility. If I'm going to back into a corner, crawl into a hole and feel sorry for myself, got nobody to blame but myself. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Guys, we're all going to face some change in life, right? Yep, some change is good, some is bad, some is big, some is small. But we're all going to face change. By show of hands, how many of you feel that distracted driving is a serious issue in this thing we call life? Okay, so the majority of you raised your hands. For those of you who didn't, I think we can agree that it is. So if we understand that, we get it. I want you to answer me this, not out loud, but think about this for a second. If we understand that distracted driving is a serious issue, why do we still do it? Don't answer it out loud, just think about it for a second. If we understand that distracted driving is a serious issue, why do we still do it? Hear me out for a second. Guys, what I don't want any of you to have to go to mediation room, sit at a long table with a mediator on the far side, a bunch of lawyers on this side, and a family on this side, with the guy in a wheelchair like myself, knowing that he's in a wheelchair because of a decision that you made to be distracted behind the wheel. And on the flip side of that, I don't want any of you to have to attend a funeral memorial service where somebody's passed because of a decision that you made to be distracted behind the wheel. Don't be the cause, be the solution. It's seriously going to take all of us working together to end this epidemic. Drinking and driving's been against the law for how long? Forever, right? It's still a huge issue today. Guys, even though the state of Texas is putting some laws and regulations in place to make it illegal to be distracted behind the wheel, until every single person on that roadway does their part, it's not going anywhere, okay? Do your part. Don't be the cause, be the solution. It's going to take all of us working together. So, I know we had some technical difficulties up front. Apologize for that, part of technology. I'm going to kick it back over to teams in the driver's seat to give you the closing. But guys, thank you for spending some time with me this morning. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Okay, we want to say thank you for attending the Shattered Dreams presentation. We'd like to thank our presenter, Tyson Dever, and teams in the driver's seat, our human services members, our high school principal, Mr. Valdez, our CTE director, Lilia Gonzalez, our school board members, Dr. Benevades, our superintendent of schools, Dr. Jesse Garza, public relations, and Ms. Frances Rocha. On behalf of Edcouch-Elsa High School, have a fun and safe spring break.